Hey, welcome back to Vito TV. I'm Vito, and what you're about to see is another episode of Vito and the Brand review AEW Dynamite. So enjoy. This is coming straight from Pro Wrestling Planet, the Brand's channel. So
Pro Wrestling Planet. I got a great thought to start this out, my man Vito. Okay. I know we're like 15 minutes in, now we're just starting out, right? But I realize here we are, Pro Wrestling Planet podcast, Vito Brand. That's how we're going to start it, folks, because we don't give a rat.
Nope.
But no, seriously though, I had a profound thought tonight, Vito.
Wait, let me just say this. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
You know what that freaking means. And Vito, like I said, I had a profound thought as I was watching this episode of AEW Dynamite for May 11th, 2022. You know what wrestling is, my man? You know what wrestling truly is, just like when you break it all down?
What?
It's literally just like how many moves you let the other guy do to you. You know what I mean? Like that's
all right.
Like that's what it's all, you know what I mean? That is really what it all breaks down to right there.
I guess that's from one guy's perspective. From the other guy's perspective, it's something else, right?
It could be.
It's how many moves you get in on him.
How many moves you get to do to the other guy. And it's just how we divide up the moves. That's all the story is.
That's right.
You either get half the moves and I get, or either I get 70% of the moves and you get 10% and whatever. Yep. I had this thought, I'll tell you which match I had it during later, but we opened this show with Adam Cole, Dax Harwood. Nice,
immediately too.
Nice nifty little match here. My main thought was that, Dax Harwood, if he ever had to go single, I think would be just fine.
Oh yes.
What do you think?
I think he's a great wrestler. I liked his match with Cash Wheeler. And I really like this match too.
Yeah, you don't see him do this often. And this was probably, gosh, I mean, if I really can't name off the top of my head any other, besides that one with Cash, of course, matches that Harwood has done, singles that stick out in my mind. But, I guess just maybe a mixture of him and Adam Cole being so great too. The crowd was down with the boom tonight. They were, it seemed kind of, I mean, at least they're always popping during his entrance though, no matter what, right? Everyone loves to do the boom.
Yeah.
And they love to do the,
baby!
Right. Everyone does that no matter what. So.
Crowd was hot for this match, like all the way through.
So.
I felt like, yeah. You know what my favorite spot was? Actually, I had two favorite spots. One was a Dax spot, and that's when Adam went for the Bebe taunt, and he just chopped the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, right.
He went for the Adam Cole Bay, and he got the Bay out, and he was in the corner, and Dax just bam chopped them all the way across the other side of the ring. That was beautiful.
It's because you really believe him as like a, just like a grizzled, mean guy. He just has that look and everything. And I think, I mean, let's go back to that. And he can pull off
a powerhouse too.
Yeah, he's absolutely.
Not big. Yeah, he's not big like a Wardlow, but he can pull off a powerhouse type guy.
Come in like the house a fire.
Yeah.
Not a house of fire, but a house a fire.
A fire, yeah.
What was the other one?
And the other The other spot is when Adam Cole threw him towards the corner, and he slid, but instead of like going into corner a regular way, he went sideways, and his ribs hit the side of the turnbuckle.
Right.
I thought that was very interesting. I don't think I've seen that particular move in.
It's another one of those things that I don't think directly, but I think semi Bret Hart influenced. You know, Bret was always thinking of crazy ways to use like the turnbuckles and the ropes and the posts and all that stuff. I mean, one of my favorite spots of all time is when Bret used to do the figure four off the post. That always just looked, you know what I mean? It just looked so brutal. Like when he would throw that on dudes, and you know, dudes would sell the knee injury hard after he did that. So it was, you know, it sticks out in your mind. But yeah, definitely think it's a weird, you know, kind of a, not a weird, but semi Bret Hart homage, if you will. Yeah, you know, my favorite spot of this match, actually kind of one of the things I'll mention here, it was one of the most dramatic count-out attempts I've ever seen in my life. When Dax was doing the spot where he was about to get counted out, you know, he did like this really cool, like, kind of like a fake out type deal, like he wasn't going to make the... He was crawling towards it, and he almost got there, but then he collapses. And you're like, oh, shit. You know, like, oh, my God, like, what's going to happen? You know, but then he gets up, and then he, like, you know, just dashes in there. That was awesome.
That's funny. I was going to say something about a count out, too. As a referee, I saw Adam Cole break the 10 count 4 times. Four times. You know how annoying that is? Coming from a man who wears the stripes, that's annoying.
You got to work the count. They're making you work for it.
4 times.
Not 2 times, not 3, but 4 times.
4 times.
He broke a 5 count, so like a tie up. Are you talking about like an outside?
No, the outside 10 count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where you just roll in the ring to break it. He did it 4 times. That's excessive.
Well, at least he did it, and wasn't just like ignoring the count completely.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That happens more often than not.
Well,
I would imagine
their referee was Bryce Rensburg, best ref in the business.
Okay, I'm not really sure who that is. I don't really pay.
Bryce Rensburg. He's the short, bald referee.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the main ref besides the Aubrey or what have you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you've never seen Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan, look it up, watch it. It's amazing.
Okay.
And for all you listeners, Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan.
Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up. Do it up.
You'll enjoy it.
Well, Vito, this one, it ends with Adam Cole tapping Dax Harwood out with the sharpshooter.
With the ugliest sharpshooter I've ever seen in my entire life. Ugly.
Why do people
Harwood
have trouble with that so much?
Beautiful sharpshooter.
It's so weird.
And we're at Owen Hart tournament, and you put on an ugly sharpshooter. Oh, get out of here.
You didn't practice it once, you know?
No.
He could have threw it on Britt Baker in the back, you know, beforehand. I mean, come on. You got to get on that, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, then we get not Adam Page. Yes, not Adam Cole, but Adam Page out for commentary. And, you know, I was really thrown off here when Punk comes out, and I Eventually, later in the show, I pieced it together, and I remembered kind of everything. The announcers mentioned it, but they didn't really explain it. Punk comes out and gets like booed by everyone. I was not expecting that. Apparently, this was just hold over from the MJF feud, is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, Long Island hates CM Punk.
Okay. Because, that was really weirding me out. I'm like, okay, well, what? I didn't really get it at first. And then, like, the announcers made, like, oh, the last time he was here, Excalibur says something like that. And I was like, well, okay. And I was like waiting for them to explain it, and it never happened.
They were singing Cult of Personality, the audience was, and then he cut the music off.
Right.
And then they booed, and then he did the It's Clobbering Time, and they just kept booing.
See, I didn't
hear
that.
I was like, are they booing? I was like, are they booing because of the MJF angle? Right. Or are they booing because he cut off Living Color?
Well, this was super weird because, I
don't know. It was awkward.
Right.
It was awkward for me.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
No, it was really weird.
Yeah, no, very, very strange because
like right here, I put Punk cut the music ? That's all I had.
Well, on my end, on my audio, it sounded to me like, the reception didn't sound great to me. I didn't hear anybody singing. It kind of sounded like they were jeering him a bit, like, to me. And so I was just kind of like, okay. And then, like, it became more obvious, like, as he came out and showed the, the New York Islander gear, which is a long way to go for a troll. If, like, that's, you know what I mean? If that's, like, what he was meaning to do.
Well, Excalibur was like, he's wearing it to make a peace offering.
Right. No, I think they just were not prepared for how this was going to go down. You know what I mean?
No, it was all awkward. The whole entrance for Punk was so awkward.
Well, and that's where I come to this this whole thing with the with the moves. Because, Punk faces John Silver here, and I just got to
Johnny Hungy.
Yeah, man. I got to thinking about it. Like, he gave John Silver a lot of moves, and that's all wrestling is how many moves you give a guy. You know what I mean?
You know what I like about John Silver, the Meat Man? His speed and his combos.
Okay, I can see that.
He's got fast. No, he's not got fast speed like when Darby moves, but when he's like really putting the moves together, they're fast. Especially when him and Alex Reynolds start getting together, those guys, they're one of my top favorite tag teams. Underrated, definitely underrated tag teams.
Okay.
Because their chained together moves, amazing.
So they're mainly Right and Dark, from what I imagine, right? Like, if you want to see them tag,
yeah.
It's like on AEW Dark.
Yeah.
Most of the time, probably.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not a Dark Order hater at all. I think that the whole angle was greatly misunderstood to a huge degree. So, I thought that, this was fine. There were a couple things that Silver kind of slipped up, but it was fine. They recovered. He at least didn't get, a UF'd up chant or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then Punk does the buckshot for the win.
Ugly.
Yeah, it was no Adam Page buckshot. That's for damn sure.
No, but he stopped. He stopped whenever he did the flip.
Right.
I was like,
well,
man,
he's not used
to it. As much as I love you, Phil, you're not no Adam Page. You ain't got no hangman, no cowboy shit in you.
Well, Vito, and this goes back to what we were talking about last week, man. The dynamic, last week we thought Adam Page was turning heel. or at least I did. He cuts this heelish promo. This week, because of where they are and whatever, because of what happened and how awkward it is. Gosh dang it, with this stupid call. I totally forgot.
What call?
The Zoom thing. Says we got 10 minutes, but we'll just, I'll just start a new meeting if we run out of time. It's fine. I never upgraded, damn it. No, but anyway, yeah. So last week it was weird, and we thought that was going on. Now this week they flip it. Where do we go from here?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like this. Is
this feud not doing it for you?
I don't think it is.
Right.
I mean, I like Phil. I've always been a fan. I like Punk. Yeah, I like Punk. He's my favorite wrestler. Always have been. I got like a shrine to him in my living room. But I don't know. It's just not. It's not meshing with me for some reason. I'm not digging it.
They still got a couple weeks to make us a little bit more invested in this, but it's definitely been a strange build.
Yeah.
So yeah, they come face to face after the match, Punk and Hangman. Punk says it's not personal, it's just business. He offers his hand. Paige gives him the bird in his face, tells him to F off, and
gave him the cowboy shit handshake.
You're right. And then he's out of there.
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, it is kind of what it is. But yes, these next 2 weeks, I think, will be very important for the build to this match. They're something else. We need something, right? We need another little layer there to the cake. But it'll be fine. Next we get.
I just don't see I don't feel the promo love. Promos are there. I just don't feel the love.
The promos have been okay. They just haven't went anywhere. I mean, they're good promos. They just, I just don't buy the match yet.
No, I don't.
I'm not sold.
But like you said, we got 2 weeks. We'll see what happens.
I don't know if they're going to do it, and in all honesty, I mean, and I love both guys. I love Hangman. I love Adam Cole. But like the last build to the last pay-per-view, it's making me feel kind of the same way. I don't know what it is, but the builds that they've been doing with Paige,
I enjoyed the Adam versus Adam build. I enjoyed that.
It was fine, but I feel kind of the same way as this one,
Yeah.
Maybe that'll change a little bit, but I just feel like, and mainly it's not even their fault. In a different company, in a different situation, that's probably the main story. The problem is that to me, there's like a few other things that kind of seem like they are maybe just a little bit more important or just a little bit more interesting than the title storyline. Like the last paper, you know what I mean? Like what MJF is doing, the MJF Punk thing kind of, a little bit kind of outshadowed. And there was another match on that show too, where I was just kind of like, man, when you really and it ended up being a great main event. I don't know. I'm going on a rant here. Next, we get Danhausen getting squashed. I was not happy about this, but hey.
I was very disappointed. But they made it up to me at the end.
There you go. We get Hookhausen, right?
Hookhausen! Hashtag Hookhausen!
There we go. You know?
Yep. I love that he said that he beat up internet meme wrestler.
Right, yeah.
That was a sweet line.
So who's next? Like Orange Cassidy or what's, you know what I mean? Or did he already beat him up and then I miss? Okay, well, yeah. But
no, Orange is injured.
Right, I know Orange is, I'm just saying. When I think of meme wrestlers, like that's the second guy that comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, besides
he messed up. He gets hooked now.
I really wonder. I haven't watched any of the Danhausen vlogs last few weeks, but I almost wonder because Sterling was like a huge part of his vlogs, and now they're like feuding on screen. So I wonder if they'll keep that kayfabe on the vlog.
Vlogs are different.
Well, there you go. See, that's what I know about the damn vlog.
Yeah, they go toy shopping together.
See, there you go. Right?
Yeah.
This ends. Okay, so this ends with Hookhausen. Then we get the Wardlow MJF deal. And this was, speaking of weird, parallel universe, because of the way that this Long Island crowd was. This segment was just complete. They did the same segment I think they would have done in any other town, but it was altered, of course, because of where they were. I don't know. What did you think of this whole debacle?
It was the same thing I thought back when he did the CM Punk thing. Somehow, some way, MJF is a babyface in Long Island.
It was the weirdest thing to watch.
There's one small speck of land in this world, this planet we call Earth, this wrestling planet.
On the pro wrestling planet, yeah.
One small speck of land called Long Island that this horrible, grotesque human being named MJF is somehow a babyface. He gets cheered. Monsterfully. It's crazy to me.
It was bizarre, but it was fun. It was entertaining.
It was. I enjoyed this whole thing. You know what my favorite line was?
I don't have a great recap. What's that?
The American roller coaster.
Yeah, what the heck?
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
That was funny.
And, he's teasing the whole insider, Tony Khan contract.
Yeah, 2024.
Deal. They start this off with a faux vignette of Dark Side of the Ring. This was put together pretty well, but
to be honest with you, I fast forwarded that, so I'll have to go back and watch that.
It was
that
interesting.
Was a time saver for me.
It was a fluff piece. MJF, making it look like there was an episode about Wardlow betraying him during the chain match, and it was cool, but it seemed kind of rushed and thrown in there, especially because they played it after Wardlow had already came out.
So it seemed misplaced. I did see the first second because Jericho was narrating it, and he goes, "Wait a minute, is this for MJF?"
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh,
how much is he paying?" Yeah, I like that.
And we'll get to Jericho here in just a bit. I loved his. I loved it and I hated it at the same time. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's later down the road.
This was hot, crowd was hot. MJF, like you said, plays to the crowd in his hometown and everything. And I was confused on the way he worded this. But from what I gather, the delivery was all jumbled. So I actually got this from going on the internet afterwards. So from what I can make sense of it is that Wardlow Spears cage match, MJF ref.
But first, I think this is the same thing. I said this last week. It's the same thing as Cody. That's why he mentioned Cody.
Okay, he mentioned the lashes. Yeah.
The 10 lashings, yeah. I like the little Ty Dillinger thing. That was amazing. The 10.
That was good. How they played that in, yes.
So he has to get the 10 lashings, and he said if you get through that, then you get the cage match with Spears.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different, right? Before with the Cody thing, that was the stipulation. Now they're doing that as the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, MJF was probably pretty fired up with this promo because it was like a different sort of thing and experience for him from his usual promos. Everything else was great, but the way this match was laid out, super confusing. Because, I did not catch that part.
I did like Spears' white chair, though.
See, you got to have the white chair for the man in the white suit, right?
It's awesome.
That's like one of those little, that's one of those Lester paying attention to detail deals. But, no, so yeah, so this sets up everything. I wish they would have laid it out a little bit more cut and dry. Like, first, this is going to happen to you, Wardlow.
Yeah.
And then second, this is going to happen. And then, he just kind of threw a bunch of stuff out there. And, but thanks for clearing that up for me. So for those of you following along at home, we get 10 lashes, then we get the cage match. And if Wardlow gets through those two things, then he gets MJF at Double or Nothing. Am I correct, Vito?
And if he loses that match, he never gets a contract with AEW. But if he wins, he's out of his contract with MJF.
Okay, so he has to win the MJF match.
Yeah, at Double or Nothing.
To get out of his contract.
Yeah.
But if he loses it, he can never sign. Okay, all right.
Yeah. If he loses that match at Double or Nothing, it's off to NXT 2.0 with you, buddy.
Did you see the guy that was on Raw that was the Wardlow clone?
No.
Oh my God. They did the Veer. If you have, if you can go back and watch Raw from this last week, the Veer Mahan squash, they brought out a guy that was literally like pretty much had Wardlow's same tights, same type of haircut, had the like little pony knob in the back and everything. Man. But he was just like, he was a little bit smaller, and they had Veer Mahan squash him. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, that kind of looks like a Wardlow knockoff, you know what I mean? And then, like, sure enough, I saw the meme like a day or so later,
Oh, gosh.
It was like when you order Wardlow from wish.com and it had a picture of that dude.
That's funny.
So you'll have to check that out. I totally think they did it on purpose, but I don't know. So,
My one good note from this is Sterling took an awesome table spot.
Oh, that looked brutal, man.
Yeah.
That looked super brutal.
He gets a lot of TV time, Sterling.
There's something going on with him. I'm not sure what it is. He's fine. He's not bad. He's an okay talker, I suppose. Yeah. And I guess that's why he's getting the time.
He's well known.
Is he? Like as far as
he's part of the IWC? He's part of the Major Brothers podcast with I just want to call them by their WWE names. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
Okay, yeah.
Matt Cardona and I can never remember his name. Anyway, moving on.
Matt Cardona, bro. I was so happy he decided to go under Matt Cardona, because when I would play Extreme Warfare Revenge on the PC, shout out Adam Ryland, and Ryder would get released in the game, I would always sign him usually to the promotion that I had, and I would rename him. And I remember having to look up what his real name was, and I saw that it was like Matt Cardona. I'm like, that's a badass name. He should just use that all along. And so yeah, that's cool.
I'm sorry to him, but I remember his name. It's Brian Myers. So I apologize to Kurt Hawkins. His name is actually Brian Myers. So there you go. I remembered it.
Well, I mean, with a unique name like Brian Myers, it's kind of hard to miss. I'm just kidding. You can't get a more generic name, but hey, the guy, that's what he was born with. I'm sure. Yeah. Sure, Brandon Hicks sounds pretty dopey to most people.
Yeah.
So we get Wardlow. Real quick, for those of you following along, Wardlow can't sign the contract with the cuffs on. But we already talked about the power bomb, but he gets out of the cuffs, he signs it, and of course he takes out all the guards, and he actually gets his hands on MJF for like a second, but Sterling saves him, and yes, like you mentioned, Vito, Sterling takes a brutal power bomb through the table. So that was that. And then the next match, Jungle Boy Starks, completely missed this. Did you catch it, or are we just skipping it?
I saw most of it, but the only thing, the end was all right. The end kind of proved what I said last week. It had the three teams staring off at the end of it. Swerve & Lee, Team Taz, and Jurassic Express. They were all staring at each other.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
Exactly like I said last week, that's the match at Double or Nothing right there.
That's going to be a sleeper match of the night right there, when you have like just that setup of the three tag teams is like just usually always money, as long as the guys involved are, worth the salt. And I think all these guys have good points to them, especially like I was saying last week, the Keith Lee Swerve team. Really interested to see what they do going forward.
I wouldn't even be mad if they won. If they won the titles, I'd be okay with that.
No pun intended. Dark horse, selection. For real. No, I mean, that would be cool. Kind of out of nowhere, but I wouldn't care.
Next was your guy, right?
Jericho. We get the Jericho Appreciation Society. Let me ask you this, Vito, before we cover this little segment here with them. Is it just me, or, I mean, shouldn't the Jericho Appreciation, the Society, the whole thing is they're sports entertainers, and it's like, I see Jericho, I see Hager, the rest of the guys, I don't know, man. Like, no disrespect to the dudes. Like, I think the dude with the ponytail is a really good talker. I think, what's his name? Garcia is solid worker. But in order for this stable to be effective, don't you think they need like more ex-WWE guys in it?
I don't know about that. I think that it takes more than just saying we're sports entertainers.
Exactly.
I think they need to do more sports entertainment stuff. They're just saying they're sports entertainers. Right. I mean, I don't want them to be running around goofy playing with balloons or anything, but they should be doing something that's more sports entertainish.
There needs to be something, yes, 100%, that, that would help. If they're not going to be ex-WWE guys, then at least sell me more on the fact that you're sports entertainers besides just like, in a tongue-in-cheek type of way. That's all I'm saying.
Is it just me, or does Jericho look really, really old lately?
Well,
like you can see it in his face.
Dude, it's weird. I almost think Jericho got like cloned by Tony Khan or something, or I don't know what the hell. Because like I don't know, he's going through some kind of a different phase, for a while there, especially, and no disrespect, but like when AEW was first starting and he was first in Japan, he was a little bit overweight, like during those Painmaker days. Yeah. And I don't know what he did. I guess, it seems like he's went to like this like strict like paleo type diet or something. Whatever he's doing, it really thinned him out and shredded him out. It's not like he's shredded, but it's like he's definitely got that like he's doing the paleo.
Yeah, his body looks good.
Right.
Yeah, but you can see in his eyes the age is getting to him.
Aging a little bit. Well, man, he's Fozzie's touring hard, and then he's got to make these shows every week, and no, but I totally agree, and that's also I was going to make a little comment about his jacket tonight. And just the combination of just how, older he's looking. It was total Ozzy vibes. That jacket.
Oh, that's funny.
I swear, if you look up like Ozzy, like 1985 tour, you'll see him wearing something like exactly like that. With the little things but Jericho pulls it off, though. He's like really the only guy in the world. Very few that could pull it off still here in 2022, the year of our Lord, wearing something like that. So yeah, Jericho rules all. I thought he cut the promo of the night here, Vito. I think when, at the end of the day, some talented guys picked up the mic, but I loved his promo here. He ends it with the great line. Well, I don't know if he ended it here, but he does the Jericho 316, says, "I just burned your face," to Kingston, which I thought was great. He told Kingston, he better stay home and comfort his wife, that whole chestnut. But, what did you think of how this played out as far as, we get the BCC coming down, and then we get Kingston and them, and then they all just jump the Jericho Society?
Well, Garcia said anytime a sports entertainer can beat up a professional wrestler. And I was like, oh, that was a bad thing to say.
Right.
Because then it's like, oh, here comes one of the best professional wrestlers there is, Mox.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you're outnumbered. Oh, here comes the BCC, the rest of them. Even Regal, you see Regal marching into the ring.
Danielson and Yuta came out to Danielson's music, so hey, maybe they listened to last week's show.
They're listening to your complaint. You're like, you guys need to lessen it down to at least 2 entrances.
I don't want to hear Yuta's music, man. Who cares? Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, that was smart.
Yeah.
No, man, this is, I don't know. It was fine. There will be some people that'll say that perhaps the outnumbering of the baby faces on the heels is not theoretically the most sound psychology thing to do, but it was fine, I think, because it only happened for a second.
Yeah.
And, they got Jericho out of there, and it was, I also
Regal,
thought, go ahead.
And Regal punched him right in the face.
Oh, that looked great. The power of the punch was back.
Yep.
I don't know. I just thought that this was like a weird way to do this, and I think I realized why they did it. I think they kind of wanted to hide their makeup job on Eddie Kingston, just by having a bunch of guys out there. And you notice they never really like showed a close up of his face.
No.
It was like very, very brief. So, I mean, I think if you looked at it too closely, you would probably see that it was, a definite, makeup job.
Looked good from far away, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And I think, like I said, I think that's why they structured this like this, because usually you would want something a little more centered around that whole return. I think back to like when they did this fireball angle. Of course, the first thing that pops into my mind is the old ECW angle with the Sandman, So I'm like thinking about that and thinking, okay, well, like that's what they're going to do. And Kingston didn't really get that moment when they did it like this. You know what I mean? He didn't get that big moment. There were so many other people out there that I think it kind of took away from Kingston's shine. I think he should have gotten a little bit more of the spotlight for it being his first time since he got his damn face burned.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it was too soon to bring him back. Actually, I was expecting Proud and actually I put down LAX here for them. I was expecting
whatever they are.
Proud and Powerful to come back and represent, but when I saw him on the apron, I was like, really? I didn't expect it.
I want to call them Los Boricuas 2.0. But I'm not sure if that's appropriate or not.
I don't think so. I think they were Puerto Rican.
Right, but isn't Kingston Puerto Rican?
Is he? I don't know.
I think at least Kingston is. If it's, I don't know. Anyway, regardless, who cares? Who cares about where they're from, man? It's all good. We're just jiving here. So yeah, this was what it was. Then we get Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter. Tony wins it with a botched ass pile driver. That's really the only.
They said it was her finisher, like the Storm Zero or something. It was so horrible.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I didn't know whose fault it was. It didn't like it. I don't know. I think it was rushed. I just put ugly pile driver.
Things like this are not proving Becky Lynch wrong, people. Okay?
Yeah.
You need to go out there and not botch the finishes of your matches. Otherwise, the stuff she said about the AEW women, it looked true there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
there's a couple spots in there that just did not look good.
Yeah.
Like Tony waiting on the ropes for Jamie to knock her off. There was too much time spent. The one thing that I did like about that match was 2 swinging DDTs in a row. One off of the middle rope, which took her all the way to the other side of the ring, and then she grabbed her again and swung off to the outside. Did you catch that?
I did not.
It was 2 in a row. 2 swinging DDTs, one right after the other. It was awesome.
Well, like we mentioned last week, accentuating the moves.
Yep.
If one of them's good, 2 of them's better, and then 3's the best or even more.
I guess they're tornado DDTs, but they were not very tornado-ish. But they were, I guess, tornado DDTs.
They were They were thunderstorm DDTs.
Yeah, there you go.
They weren't quite tornadoes, but we got a little bit of thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
In there.
I don't know if you noticed this, but the dentist gets a Joker.
Next week, both Joker matches. I want to say Joker cards, like this is a Juggalo podcast or something. But
save that for another day.
Yes. We get both Joker matches next week, Vito. Didn't we kind of predict this last week? Didn't we talk about it a little bit? We were mentioning Cesaro.
I called Cesaro for Joe's Joker.
Okay, right. Could be anybody with these women, right? What if it was AJ Lee?
Don't mess with me, Brandon.
My daughter was like asking me tonight, as we're sitting there watching the show, she's like, something about, she asked about, you think AJ will ever come to AEW? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe.
I think she works for another company. She works for some all-women company, like as a booker or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, look that up when we finish this.
Yeah, let us know. Look it up. Either way, then we get Darby, Jeff Hardy, right? I don't think I kind of browsed over. We had a Kaz promo. Sammy Guevara comes up, tells him he can't trust Scorpio Sky. Whatever. They're gonna.
I missed all that. I fast forward through all that.
They're gonna have a match on Rampage. That they've been building to. But yes, then we get Darby, Jeff Hardy. This was nice. Vito, did this bother you that they changed it to a no DQ?
Yes. Usually I would say no because I love these matches. Right?
You got to have some, come on. You got to have some consistency with this tournament.
It's the Owen Hart tournament. Yeah, actually, I'd like to go and say, go to owenhartfoundation.org. Say that right now. Check it out, listeners.
owenhartfoundation.org.
Okay. So, I was really looking forward to this match. Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. It was something that I've wanted since Jeff came to this company. And I was extremely let down. I gotta say. I didn't want the weapons, and I would rather have a straight one-on-one match, to be honest with you. Good spots, but not enough for me.
I could see that. But I also, the majority of the Darby stuff I've seen has been all these sorts of matches. That's why they did the no DQ thing. Also to kind of disguise, some of Jeff's stuff, like we were talking about last week, I think.
It looks blown up 3 minutes in.
See, I thought he looked better than he did last week, but that's a huge.
Just like you said, because he had the weapon.
Right.
Crutch.
They've got
the weapon crutch.
The smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
You said that last week. You said they'll figure out how to make it happen with smoke and mirrors, and they did. They came up with the smoke and mirrors. It's called weapons. You called it. You called that last week. They found smoke and mirrors.
Right. And that's the match we got.
Regardless of how disappointed I was, Darby Allin has the best dive in the business.
Oh, for sure. It looks like a freaking torpedo coming out of the...
Yeah, it's like
out of the
bullet.
Ring. Exactly. Yeah. No, I was, and were you surprised at the finish? We got Jeff goes over. I did not expect that myself.
I didn't. No.
So, yeah, Jeff moves on, and
I don't know who said it, but casket out of chairs. I thought that was cool.
right? Almost like I wouldn't have thought casket. I was thinking like bed of chairs. I've actually done that same maneuver myself. Yeah. Maybe not both sides, but like, I don't know, you're trying to like, I don't know why, but just like lay down somewhere or something. I know I've done that move myself before.
And another thing I wanted to bring up, actually two things. A lot went down in picture-in-picture.
Right. And last week I paid attention to the picture-in-picture. This week I did not. And I was thinking during the main event, like, why do we have picture-in-picture during the main event? Can't we?
I don't know, but
can't we arrange the show to where the last 10 minutes there's no commercials? Is that possible? That's all I'm asking, Tony. That's all I'm asking.
You didn't pay attention to picture-in-picture tonight?
I did not, because I was trying to get everything ready, and I was watching it on my phone, so I couldn't really.
Let me just tell you this. So during the picture-in-picture, there was a tug-of-war with the ladder. Okay. When the ladder got dropped, Darby hit a code red, which is one of my top 5 favorite moves.
Okay.
Then Jeff gets the ladder, the tall boy, which we saw.
Right.
Then Darby lays on the casket of chairs. He just sits on it and then kind of lays back for no reason. And then Jeff climbs the ladder. And then that's when commercial came back, is when Darby climbs up the ladder. All that happened in picture-in-picture.
Wow. Well, at least they came back at exactly the right moment.
Yeah. But what bothered me is it just reversed. Because during picture-in-picture, like I said, Darby just sat down and then laid on the chairs. But after that whole nonsense happened, then Jeff just went down there and sat on the chairs, then laid on the chairs.
Right.
It was weird.
So it was almost just kind of like a purposeful, like they didn't know they were in picture-in-picture and just kind of setting up the spot. Is that kind of what it looked like, or?
Well, I mean, maybe with the Darby thing, but when Jeff went down there and just sat in the chairs, usually if you're doing like a table spot or something, you walk up to the guy, you hit him with a couple forearms, you lay him down, and then you go do the spot. But Darby didn't even touch him. Jeff just laid down. It was weird.
Wow. Well,
and then I wrote down, Darby kills himself.
Well, in order to make an omelet, sometimes you got to break a few eggs. And, apparently Darby was the egg on this occasion.
That coffin drop off the ladder into those chairs was crazy because it looked like his back landed right on the back of a chair.
I think he's going to kill himself with that move one of these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really depending on the angle and velocity that he drops that sometimes is like really, really scary looking.
Yeah, because then he did it on the ring apron.
Yeah.
Like 3 minutes later. He's crazy. And
he will find out even crazier places to do it off of as we go through time. You watch. And that's
Jeff's the same way.
Right. And that's kind of what was weird about this match. And you're right, Vito. When you think about it, the finish being what it was and just kind of, how they worked it is one thing. But also, now that I think about it, yes, it's kind of a passing of the torch type of deal. And it didn't really feel that way to me.
I need another match.
They had a quick car crash TV main event, you know.
I need another match.
Maybe if they give them pay-per-view time next time.
Yeah. Hell, give me Darby and Sting versus the Hardys. I'll take that. Sting can handle himself.
They probably will do that eventually.
I'll take it.
So, you know, pretty good, pretty decent episode of Dynamite. We get, what? We got, like, 2 more shows before, we mentioned that earlier. 2 more shows.
Hey, there was one note I put on here.
Okay.
There was no tag team match.
0 tag team matches tonight.
Nope. I think that's a first.
Somewhere Teddy Long is not happy.
Oh, playa.
Well, Vito, I want to thank you very much for joining me real quick before we head out. Did you catch the WWE pay-per-view over the weekend? Did you catch WrestleMania Backlash?
I watched most of it.
Without going too deep, thumbs up, thumbs down, quick review from you.
Thumbs sideways.
Sideways, yeah.
Hey, would you 1 to 5? Would you rate Dynamite?
Tonight's Dynamite, I don't know, man. You know, you had a good opener. You had a couple good promos. You had some, you know. I'm gonna be generous tonight and say that we went into 3 stars, 3.25.
Yeah,
I'm giving it.
I was gonna say 3.5 earlier when I was watching it, but
pretty similar.
Talking with you and remembering everything, and just topping it off with that Jeff and Darby match, I'm going down to 3.
Going down to 3.
And I don't know. I just did not enjoy a couple different aspects of this Dynamite.
You know, and that's totally fair. You know, that's you know.
Actually, it's totally rare. Is what it is.
It's fair, but it's rare.
Fair and rare.
It's an antonym. It's a synonym.
Yeah.
It's a homonym. Whichever one of the nyms it is.
It's a nym of sorts.
It's the secretive nym.
Who loves that? Who doesn't love that?
So yeah. That's pretty much all I've got. Yeah, no, the pay-per-view was fine. I can't even really, you know, I'm so jacked up from this Dynamite, don't even really have notes or can't think back to really what happened. All I know is that the heels went over in the main event and Ronda became the champion. So
yeah, that's about it. I don't remember anything else.
And Cody
won. I remember that.
Yeah, Cody got another win by pulling the tights. Almost exposed Seth Rollins' derriere to the world. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, next time, hopefully, it was just such a, you know, damn WWE doing a pay-per-view on Mother's Day. I did get to watch the show, but just trying to arrange, you know, like our post pay-per-view party with the, you know, I wanted to get, you know, everyone in on the call. Just didn't end up happening, but maybe next time. Vito, where can we find you at, brother? Vito TV.
Vito TV.
Here, right?
Yep. Hopefully I'll get this on my channel.
Check out Vito TV. And yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll have my people call your people and we'll do lunch.
All right. You know? I'll get my secretary on the phone. See what happens.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are out.
Peace.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Vito and the Brand preview AEW Dynamite. So We'll see you next week, and I hope you come back. See you later.